To do this 2 weeks ago for Capital Computers, believe it or not. Wayne Perry approached me at the last collective and says, hey, what are you guys doing for imaging, updating, and disaster recovery? I was like, funny you mentioned that, because we got some utilities going on, and I named this presentation Sleeping Soundly at Night. And just because so that I can sleep at night knowing that my people are safe and protected without having to touch every one of these machines. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up back over here for a second.
You might keep the answer.
Yeah, right. That would be nice. But this machine here that I have up right now is just a freshly imaged machine that I had done right before here. I put on very minor customizations, administrator stuff, and wireless to make sure that works. And I'm on Jefferson. I obviously had to put a certificate on there, right? So that's all that I've done to this, and it came right out of the box from our imaging system. What I need to do is I need to actually connect this to our SCCM server, and I want to do that at the beginning of the presentation. Sometimes it takes a while to make that happen, so we can go ahead and play a PowerPoint ninjutsu while this thing is connecting. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting to one of our ES shares to get my client to install SCCM. If I can type my password right. And where do we hide that at? Right here. And right here. Now you can go ahead and run around with this on a flash drive too and make sure it installs, but we have it on a network slice so we don't have to. And I want to actually show you what the command line is to install that. Nasty length of a. If you want to type that all in your command line, feel free to go ahead and do that. I made a batch file to make my life a little easier. Also, I don't have to have any typographical errors. So that's all it's doing. It's just running that command line and it's phoning. The ET is actually phoning home right now. I just didn't really have to connect this one yet. All right, so everyone's okay with that so far? That was not a whole lot of engineering there. Yeah. So anyways, slide to unlock. Thank you very much. No connection available. That's okay. But I've got backup. All right, if you've ever seen one of my presentations, I always like to lead off with a quote. Try to mess with our minds a little bit. And anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anybody 80 in this room? Y'all get the award too. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. The greatest thing in life is to keep your mind young. But yeah, so pretty much this slide, in a nutshell, says, don't be afraid to learn something new. All right, so you guys may be stuck in a rut doing your old imaging processes and doing goes, image paths. Whatever you got now is fantastic. I mean, it's working and you're deploying images to your desktops, clients, whatever you need to do. Fantastic. This possibly may give you some other insight in order to make things a little easier. This slide here, anybody have any ideas where I was going with this?
Disaster.
Kind of feels military-esque.
Sort of setup and then implementation. And then
all right, yeah, you're getting there. So what I had going here is I had a little deployment action here. We train our troops that's going out to war, and you want to make sure that they're trained all perfectly the same. You want to make sure that they're cookie cutters of each other so that they can rapidly be deployed and inserted in at any notice. We got a little bit of aerial support here with our little airplane up here that provides rapid injection to help our troops while they're already deployed, right? And then what we got on the far slide here is we got our combat field medic who is able to resuscitate and revive our injured fallen warriors, right? Where I was going with this slide is possibly MDT, SCCM, and DPM. For those that aren't familiar with either one of those, Microsoft Deployment Tool, System Center Configuration Manager, and Data Protection Manager on the end. So let's talk about deployment. If you guys have seen my deployment MDT class, this is straight from that. This is the old school way that you used to do deployment. And my supervisor's here, so this is the way that we both did it back in the day. And fortunately, he challenged me to make sure that we can figure out a different way to do things. And this gets bundled into one big thick package, right? So you install all your drivers, and you bundle it up, and you make things happy, right? Then you get cookie cutters, machines, hopefully similar to one that you made from, right? And you deploy them out. Problem is that what happens if you have somebody who doesn't want that image? Somebody who makes more money than the person who gets this one. So higher pay grade says, well, I need different hardware because I can't, right? So guess what? That usually necessitates another thick image with drivers, whole 9 yards, maybe a software suite. Uh-oh, new model comes out. What's Apple's par now? 3 months before they deploy new hardware? Maybe 6 months? Now you have to get the new Dell model. It necessitates another thick image, right? And guess what? Coming October, Microsoft Surface, right? So another thick image. So now you're up to what? 4 images just right quick right there. That's the old school way. So we have to escrow so many images here. All of them rapidly, get out of date so quick. We want to go a little bit different thinking. So what we do is we install Windows. We go ahead and figure out what commonalities there are. Maybe install some applications and some drivers here, right? Let's abstract it out some. Maybe some machines don't get Acrobat. Maybe some machines don't get Dreamweaver. Maybe some machines don't get in-house application, right? Let's take it another step further. Let's even take the drivers away from the thick image. So what this means is that we have Windows supporting drivers, supporting applications that are common across all your hardware suites, and we make a thick image out of that. Then what we do is we grab all the drivers too. Hopefully they make those available from Dell, make those available HP, whatever Joe vendor you have, IBM, Lenovo, and you keep those escrowed out on somewhere safe. And then what we can do, whoops, hang on. Let's go back to that slide. What I was going with these drivers is that in the future, say you have these other models that come out later. They come up. Why did they come up? There they come. You can add them on and daisy chain those in the future. So therefore, your strategy here is future-proof. So let's talk about MDT again. Everybody is using MDT, right? No. That's okay. Let's go back over here. All right, good. I got to connect to Cavalier now because I did not put in my IPsec policy before I came here. My Jefferson is not available to my server. IPsec out. Too bad. So, let's go here. Type in my magic password. I think. Let's try again. Hey, ooh, wrong.
You click back in the middle of it.
Ah! How many characters was that? Too many. So what I'm doing is I'm going into the deployment workbench console here. I'm going to show you exactly what we're showing here. We actually have Windows x64 now. We're deploying that because Dell's giving out 8 gigs of RAM. So 8 gigs of RAM necessitates 64 bits worth of Windows. So that's necessitating us to build a 64-bit image. And what I want to go to, I want to go to these out-of-box drivers first. And this is the tree that I wanted to show everybody how things are working. And these are synonymous with those folders that you saw in the pictures and the diagram where we're going to add drivers. So each one of these folders actually has individual CAD files or INF files of each one of the particular hardware models. So there you go.